But I've seen some people that were totally blessed that would not have had any way, shape, or form to get treatment, be able to receive that.
Welcome to Recovery TV. We just finished recording our season finale to our Facebook Live show called Recovery TV Live, which can be found on our Facebook page at Family Solutions OK. And we're talking about a very important issue. We have special guests Chuck and Vicky Robinson on this episode to talk about this question that we're commonly asked, and that is, can recovery and therapy and mental health be done in a way that is affordable, because it's often highly expensive? The quick answer to that is yes, it can be, and that's what this episode is about. Make sure you watch this episode to the very end, because Chuck and Vicky is going to share with you a very important resource that you definitely will want to know about. So without further ado, let's roll the highlights of our season finale of Recovery TV Live.
Nobody saves for this. I couldn't afford it when I decided to seek recovery myself. I couldn't afford it when I decided to seek recovery myself. I went to 3 meetings a day for probably 4 to 5 months. Now, I didn't have a family at that time. I was single, but I was able to be successful at it. And for that, it cost me $1 a meeting, and that's pretty affordable. Mm-hmm. I had to change my thinking, and you can't just change your thinking on 1 meeting a day or 1 meeting a week if you're really serious about recovery.
Discipline is the key, and a lot of the people that we work with are coming to us kind of at the end of their rope, and they don't have much discipline. And so, depending upon the circumstances and the severity or acuity level of the individual, we may make a suggestion for treatment. And treatment is expensive, depending upon where you go and what is necessary for you to get better. None of us got here on a winning ticket. And so if they are coming into your office for the first time or considering treatment, their finances are probably shot. And so that's an embarrassing thing to share with another human being anyway, that they have overspent. But when the addict is engaged in their illness, they aren't thinking about a balanced budget. They're thinking about changing the way they feel. And so oftentimes our understanding of that and sympathy and empathy towards, we understand it's a mess, let's try to figure this out. And then all of a sudden they kind of relax a bit and take a deep breath and are able to see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right. I think it's really important that what you just said is something that's addressed early, you know, like you're pointing to, because most people aren't coming, especially when we're talking about addictions, they're not coming for services because things are just a little bit bad. They're coming because it's unmanageable. And so their finances are going to be a reflection of that. Exactly. It's just a piece of it, right? And I think I like that you're saying it was something we're going to help them with, because they need some navigation around the way they feel about that reality piece of getting the treatment that you need.
Right. Exactly. On their own, they're not going to take a look at it. It's too painful.
Right. Is it okay to spend money on improving your mental health? Like that core question for people. I think if you just threw it out there, people would say, well, sure. But when you actually start applying it to real choices, that's when it brings up the conflict, right?
Does it fit in the budget?
Right, it doesn't fit.
Right. And you know, when I was thinking about that question, is it okay for me to pay to get my oil changed? You know, it's just going to get dirty again. Right. And so oftentimes we don't get the oil changed, and at some point in time the car breaks down and we say we wish we had gotten the oil changed. And it's the same thing with behavioral health. we keep pushing it as we'll do that next week, we'll do that we'll do it after the first of the year.
Yep.
And at the point that we actually come into the office, the engine has broken down. And now we're trying to figure out how to buy a new car or how to fix the one we have. And we say, we wish we would have.
Yeah.
And we'll do it different next time. And so I think what we're all saying and what we're trying to encourage is that early education before the wheels fall off.
Right.
I was thinking about all of the shootings that we've seen in the recent years. And all of those people needed mental health services.
Right.
And most of them that we hear from, at least in the media, tells us that they were not served.
Right.
And so it is a very valuable part of our society.
Our society is hurting. And, you know, when something happens in my home and it breaks down, I call a professional to come in and fix it. And I hope he or she has the knowledge to do so. Because our society is hurting so bad and we've found so many things to substitute to try to change the way we feel, we need somebody to help us professionally walk through that process. And there are people out there that have plenty of personal experience. They give away this type of service for free. As long as they stay within their personal experience, maybe that's a good option for some. That's called peer-to-peer. It's a whole nother theory or philosophy on counseling. What folks are paying for when they hire a licensed professional counselor is education and experience. Why are we doing what we do to change the way we feel?
Yeah.
And when we look at that, oftentimes at the core we find some type of trauma or perception that is out of order, and we need a professional who's been educated in that area to help us figure that out.
Right.
I had a lady call me the other day, and she has a group home for unwed mothers, and so she was they were looking for trauma therapy. And so there is the YWCA. I said, these are kind of the resources that I did give her. The YWCA has a trauma group that they run. Also Red Rock runs a trauma group, mental health. And there is a community health center on the south side called the Hope Center that they also provide services that either take sooner care or they could possibly be even free.
Okay.
The specialized outpatient services has pretty low cost and also does take sooner care, I think, in a lot of situations also.
When there's absolutely no money, no credit card, no family support, where do we go? In the counseling arena, most of the free services come from the church.
Whatever level of care that's recommended by the therapist, we wanted to have some additional funding to help people for that. So last March, we founded Refined Silver, and it is a nonprofit that has funds available with a board, a full volunteer board that manages the funds, and the board is not us, so we stay out of that. But they will decide, you can make applications for that, and then they will decide how much that they could award you to help you with any of those services in particular. Sometimes we've paid to help get people into sober living. Their first month when they're coming back from treatment, they may need that taken care of so that they can get a job and get back on their feet. And so they look at everybody on an individual basis.
It's just a pot of money. is all it is. Everybody that is on the board is a volunteer. We have no office space. There's no expenses that are coming out of this. They support counseling. So if you have somebody who comes to your office and says, I really need your level of services, your expertise, your specialty, Carrie, but I can't afford it. The counselor can say, go online, I can't make any promises, but they may give $50 for 6 sessions that will help subsidize, and it will pay you for your service. Every person who has done the work that the two of you have done to get to where you are deserve to be paid for it. And so this is a way that the client can pay a little bit, Refined Silver can pay a little bit, and then Refined Silver might also ask you to have some skin in the game. And so everybody wins.
All I can say is, wow. I'm so grateful that Chuck and Vicky have founded this nonprofit organization called Refined Silver. We definitely have been in need of something like this in our community, but the great thing about it is that it's available to everybody. All you have to do is go to refinedsilver.org to place your application. And if you want to donate to Refined Silver, you can do that straight through the website, refinedsilver.org. Click the donate button and you can make that donation. And don't forget that all the resources that we mentioned are in the description below, including some additional resources. If there's one thing that I want you to take away from this video, that is that you can structure your recovery and your mental health plan in such a way that is affordable to you. So in order to help you do that, we've listed several links and resources in the video description below, so please check that out. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you back here next time.